Hello, I'm Luis from the London Food Bank. Today we are behind the London Food Bank in our garden. Like you can see it right there. With me is Mindy.
Hello.
And we're going to do our...
Healthy.
Yes, we were working. And we're going to do a little tour of our greenhouse.
Yes.
So this city greenhouse, as you can see, is in behind the London Food Bank. So this guy, it was a greenhouse of the pandemic. We set it up about 2020, 2021. It was here already. And now let's take a look at what are we growing. And Mindy, let me just give you 1 second to introduce yourself. Like, come on.
Hello, I'm Mindy, and I'm a volunteer here in the greenhouse, and I'm a volunteer in the food bank as well. And during the pandemic, when this all started, the only thing that was here was the greenhouse. None of this was included. This is all something that started within the last year or two, and it has gone pop.
It's a beautiful one. Like, we're so happy about it. But the real thing here is this greenhouse. Everything happened after this greenhouse just landed here. Let's take a look.
This is where it all starts. And welcome to the greenhouse.
You know what? I always see it. For me, it's getting a little bit old, but no, it's such a beautiful one.
It's wonderful to come in every single week and see how much things have grown and see how much things have changed, because there's so much that's happening every single day. There's planting, there's transplanting, there's harvesting, there's seeding. It's constantly on the go.
Mindy, so how long have you been volunteering here at the London Food Bank?
I started volunteering during the pandemic.
Okay.
It was in the first few weeks of the pandemic, and a lot of the volunteers at the greenhouse or inside, at the food bank, stopped volunteering because they were vulnerable at the time and there was a shortage. So a bunch of friends of mine started volunteering in there, and there was talk that there was a greenhouse going to be built. And I said, as soon as that's built, I want to go and work in there too.
So yeah, you were pretty much, I'm going to say, with Ralph and Rosanna and Nori, our first volunteers. After that, we have a rotation of kids from school doing their hours for community. Another volunteer just helping here, and we do also grow for another groups. So the idea now is to show what are we growing. So you know what we're growing here?
I do.
Okay, let's take a look.
I know most of what we're growing here.
Okay.
So first off, is this basil? It is.
That is the oregano.
It's the oregano.
So look at that.
So we're growing oregano and parsley and cilantro and kale and carrots. Is there carrots starting right now? And look at these beans.
Oh,
this is something that's new. We put these little, or Luis put, when I say we, I mean Luis, put these this grid up here so that things can grow up instead of growing out, and then use all of the space that's in here.
Yeah, that was when
tomatoes are growing up here, and they were hung up here because in the summertime, the greenhouse gets so hot and the sun can come down. It can bake the plants far too much. So they provide both a little bit of a canopy and they cool it down just a little bit as well. So every single inch of space is used in here.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say.
Sorry, Luis.
No, that's okay.
You're me talking and I don't stop. Go a little bit further down. We have lettuce. And these lettuces aren't ready to be harvested. These ones almost are.
Well, I think we're going to harvest those today, like later on. Yeah, absolutely. They look awesome.
Almost every week we harvest what's ready, and then we take it into the food bank and measure it. And it's always a little bit of a competition to see if we have harvested more pounds of food this week than we did the week before. But this week there's a lot of lettuce, and it doesn't weigh very much. So
yeah,
we may have to adjust our expectations.
Well, last week we did some tomatoes, and that was a nice harvest, like over 40 pounds. So that's why you don't see so many tomatoes this week.
And there's strawberries growing as well. So there's everything that's growing. Pretty good. And look at these.
Oh, these guys have to be harvested sooner than later.
Look at Hey, these are beautiful.
The chiles. So everybody gets a little bit of hot and spicy from the greenhouse.
Nice. And these guys grow like crazy. You harvest them 1 week and then they're ready again the next week.
That's the Malabar spinach.
It's Malabar spinach.
Yeah, you can see it just climbs everywhere. More peppers.
More peppers. These ones don't have any peppers on them yet, but they're coming along. And then there's some more herbs here. More peppers here.
So I must say, like, I'm a big fan of growing herbs, especially when you see the prices in the store. Like, this is something that it do provide a lot of nutrition, really, when it's fresh. But also, like, the experience of having something like you think is not available to you. Like, when you're going to spend $4 for, I don't know, 30 grams of basil, is like, you know what? I remember the taste of basil when, I don't know, my grandmother made food. And that's something that we provide to our clients. Like, you know what? We can always have a nice meal with fresh produce.
That's right. And growing with love.
And
Because
absolutely.
we sing in here.
Oh, yeah, we do. We put the radio. Right now, the radio is off.
But it's off right now. But yeah, there's all kinds. There's chives here, and there's onions here, and there's more thyme. Oh, and we have eggplant.
Oh, the eggs are not coming.
The eggplant, this one is wait. So there's more eggplants outside in the other greenhouse.
What? You have another greenhouse?
There's another greenhouse. There's like a miniature greenhouse that was set up in the winter time, and some of the plants, when they grow in the greenhouse in the summer or in the winter, and then we want to take them outside and put them outside when it gets warm, it's a little bit of a shock. So they go into the mini greenhouse and they get used to the temperature, and then we're able to put them outside.
That's exactly.
There's a nice little pattern so that everything grows the way that it should and nothing gets shocked and sick.
Yeah, well, you have to think like little babies. Like, if you bring your baby outside and it's like bad weather, you have to make it in a way like, you know what, put it some coat, put it some dress so the weather is not going to affect it so much. So that's pretty much what happened with this small greenhouse outside. It's a layer, so the plants get used to how the weather is going to be outside when they go directly. So if you go from this heated greenhouse to directly to outside, that would be a shock for the plants. So that's what really that little greenhouse help us to like acclimatate our plants. That's the term.
Yeah, it's a nice little step before they go outside. So here, I don't know what these are, Luis, but they're really pretty.
Oh, they're coming more. This is the pepper area.
Peppers.
We have lots of peppers.
Oh, there's a little baby here. Little baby pepper and lots of beautiful flowers. And more eggplants.
More egg. Oh, look at that one.
There's lots of these eggplants are white. Now, did they start white and then turn purple? My hands are filthy.
I don't know. We have to check the seed catalog there.
Flowers on them, and these will all be more eggplants.
So thinking all of these guys have to go to the little greenhouse so they can finish the growing outside. Mm-hmm. We can start another garden right here. Okay, in the other side.
On this side, we've got kale.
I'm pretty sure that's the broccoli that Fancho donated to us. Is it?
Oh, it is. Let me check the tag. Broccoli.
It is the broccoli, yeah. Well, they do look the same, like the
leaves look the same.
The leaves
so we
of
have to be careful when we go to harvest it, because this looks like kale. If I didn't check the tag, it would have been somebody would have had broccoli leaves.
But you know what? You can eat the broccoli leaf.
Everything can be eaten, correct?
I'm going to say, but the root, yeah, I think so. The stem, the flowers, of course, you're looking here for the little floret that is going to grow. But you can eat the leaves too. And of course, they're super concentrated in, when you get it fresh like this, in nutrition.
They look beautiful and healthy. There's no flowers yet, but
They should come later. What is that? More peppers.
Oh, and a nice one just about ready.
Oh, these are the bell peppers.
Lots of them. Well, there's lots of bell peppers. and the tomatoes in the background. And again, these tomatoes here, and there's strings that are tied up at the top of this middle bar here so that the vine tomatoes can grow up the vine and then they don't fall over and take up more space. And they also create a little bit of a canopy for the other plants that are underneath them so that they don't burn and get too hot.
Yeah, you can feel like right now there is like a nice hot weather inside the greenhouse. Oh, I love that one.
These I love. And I think this is lemon balm, and it smells so beautiful. One of the most lovely things about being in the greenhouse is when you walk past the herbs or when you walk past some of the plants, you get this just huge aroma of all of these beautiful plants. But these walls can contain a whole lot. And so we've got basil in here, and there's this, I can't tell if
it's a beet that we harvest for the leaves. So I think it's been growing there for, I'm going to say, 2 years.
Wow.
So it's an old beet. We have to take it out, but I love it the way it grows there. Like
thyme across the top as well. And this is so, and then underneath here, and I think we were talking about this a little while ago, how much
always have to harvest that.
This little canopy has allowed the, and this is escaping me. What is the name of these?
Swiss chard.
Yes. How much this has protected the Swiss chard, and there's still lots growing underneath here, even though it hasn't had a whole lot of sunlight. They're all growing right into.
And I'm going to say that lemon balm has been harvested 3 or 4 times already, and it always comes and better every time.
It smells so nice.
I do have to put more plants in the top part, like it's a little empty.
These walls are so cool. And these are little pellets, and you can put your plants right into these little pockets and grow a whole row of herbs and vegetables, and it takes up less space. And when you use these little pellets, they don't get nearly as heavy as if you were using soil in these.
It sounds like somebody's paying attention. Yeah, that's the story about those guys, the clay pebbles.
And what are those red things at the top?
That's oxalis. It's can I go there? I guess you can go there. So it's a kind of shamrock. It has oxalic acid. We put one of those in the Christmas basket that we did 2 years ago, and it's still growing over there. It's edible. We don't harvest it that much. Like the other shamrock, we don't harvest it that much, but everything is edible there.
And I can't find one right. Oh, I think that they're over there. There is, these things here. They look like there's little packets, and they look like little bugs. So what are those?
Okay. This was for when we have thrips. That's an enemy, a natural enemy. So we liberate those guys on top of our plants, and they were looking for the thrips, and they eat it. And I just kept the container for remembering in the future if I have another thrip problem, I can just get those guys again. So that's beneficial insects.
So everything in here is organic.
Yeah, we have to.
It tastes like it's real.
The thing is, like, since we're harvesting every week, we cannot really put any heavy pesticide or chemicals. So we really use water, soap, and some other organic products, but it has to be something like, okay, we are going to harvest tomorrow. So it has to be gone by then.
And ladybugs?
Ladybugs, yes.
Ladybugs. There was a whole process for
liberate those guys at night. Yeah, and it was so fun. Like, they're still around. Like, this greenhouse never stopped growing. This they do install here. Like, you liberate those ones, and afterward you don't see them in the same amount, but there's always here. And as soon as you get a little infestation, they know where it is, and they go find it, and they do my job for me. So thank you very much, little critters.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Here's another wall
Okay, had to.
Really filled. This one's probably ready for.
Oh, this is absolutely ready for harvest.
And it looks like those ladybugs have done their job because I don't see a single aphid.
No, that's super clean.
On
Yeah,
these are amazing.
I've been looking around for aphids too. No, there are not many.
These are almost ready to harvest. And wow, look at these ones too.
I must say, you look pretty impressive with you there. Like, that's a big wall now that I see it, like, in this perspective.
Done well. So we have kale here, and this is also kale. And there's Swiss chard that's growing in this wall.
Oh, I can see parsley there.
Parsley and more Swiss chard.
Oh, I can see sage,
And oh,
mint, more lemon balm. Okay. Yeah, that's a really diverse wall there.
there's lots.
Okay, more time. I can see you have some time there.
Right here. And these are beautiful. And they smell so wonderful when you touch them.
Oh, that's the nice part. You go around and you just smell so nice. So that's the other thing. Like, it has to really inspire like the volunteers, ourselves, the public, because we will have the opportunity to have just lettuces growing here, but that will be a little bit tough to enter and see like, okay, this is just a greenhouse of lettuces. You can do the same with just tomatoes and have a big increase in your productivity. But to make it like this, like super diverse, it will help also with the pest part. Like when we have so many different plants around, the pest doesn't know where is my tomato or where is the plant that I really like. And you know what? The other predators are around too. So it make it like in a way more resilient as a unit, the whole greenhouse.
It works. More peppers, more tomatoes on this side. And these bags here are getting ready for more plants.
Plants! That's Rosanna over there! She doesn't want to go into the video today.
And what are these lights here? Are these lights used during the summer?
So yes, like today you can see that it's not so much sunlight right now. So if the greenhouse gets super warm, these turn off automatically during the winter really. But during the summer they do complement a little bit of the growing. These are these lamps are made for growing. They are not just for trick the plant into think there is summer. Actually, you can put these lamps in a warehouse and they're inside like indoor facility, and you can grow like without sunlight at all. But for us, it's like a complementary lamp, and they are amazing. This is how we can grow so many seedlings in the beginning of the season in these batches because we have these super nice lamps.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
There is so many plants like.
And look at these. So when we first put the seeds in, they'll go into tiny little cells like these. And then when the plants get a little bit bigger, we can put them in a bigger pot. And then eventually they go into a larger pot like this. And this is a big enough bag so that the plants will get big enough, and then we can harvest from a bag just like this. And then we empty them out and start all over again.
Yep, we did.
Sometimes we use the soil. We dig up the soil and we'll add some compost to it so that it's got lots of nutrition in there so that the plants can grow nice.
Yeah, well, sometimes we use the whole plant. When we did the garden outside, we just grab the plant from those bags. And so at the end, we have lots of empty bags that we refill and we put back to circulation. But most of the time, like when we're growing like Swiss chard, that we can just clip it and it grows back, they can stay there for the whole season and we just clip it back. And then we cut the whole plant, take the root out of the thing and put a little bit more compost, and we use again the same container. Again, and that's possible because we don't have big issues with diseases growing into the medium, really. I guess it's because we use a lot of compost, a lot of compost tea. The organic fertilizer also helps. The thing that I will change for this greenhouse will be to have like only rainwater to use it. that would be something else.
That would be awesome.
But we're not there yet. That would be like a lot of holding for the a holding capacity, like a big container for water. But you know what? It could happen.
That's
Maybe
the
in the
project.
future. Yeah.
This greenhouse has been here for 2 years, 2.5 years.
This is the third year World Cup.
Wow. So in 2 years, it's there's so much that's been happening here.
Let's take a look of the greenhouse outside.
Okay. And how about the lemon tree?
Oh, you want to show the lemon tree?
There's lemons growing in here. Well, they've been
Are they?
harvested already.
Oh, I harvested little lemons.
Already, but this is such a beautiful place.
Yeah, look at you when you're next to the lemon tree. Yeah, it's a big one.
Working. Okay, let's go outside to the little greenhouse. And again, all of the space that's around the greenhouse, there's all kinds of volunteers here who are growing. Look at all of this. Oh my goodness. There's tomatoes. There's marigolds, and marigolds help to deter the pests too, don't they?
Yes, they do. So you put it around. I think they do help like scaring away the nematodes, the bad ones, and they look amazing. Like that's the whole thing. Like
They're pretty.
the color is amazing. Okie doke.
So this is the little greenhouse.
Okay, it's so much littler than the other one.
It is much smaller than the other one, but there's still a lot going on in here. So again, some pretty marigolds. There's smaller walls here, but each of these little walls also can be used to plant. We've put herbs mostly in these, and I think that we've also had Swiss chard tends to grow very well. But these walls, and at one point, you could come and you could take one of these walls and grow a row for the food house or for the food bank, and you could take one of these home and put it on your fence, or you could put it on the wall in your backyard, and you could grow all of your herbs, and it doesn't take any space from your backyard, and they really, really look pretty when they're full.
I actually remember you harvesting this greenhouse and these walls, like I think, like last year?
I think it was.
It was last year, yeah. So we have to replant it now.
Yep, these are amazing.
It has to go again.
It's great to use. So some of these plants, so the eggplants that are by here, and these were all inside the bigger greenhouse.
Oh, yes, it is.
We moved these outside into the shelter here so that they would acclimatize a little bit before they go outside. And the tomatoes also, because there were so many tomato plants.
Oh, yes, we did.
Lots of tomato plants. So there's little tomatoes that are already growing on these that are almost ready to go outside. And okra.
Oh, the okra is also something that always keep going.
The okras are so pretty. And there's a nice big okra right here.
Is there any flower? No flower now.
I don't see any flowers, but there's a couple of little buds that look like they're
They use for the flowers.
And these here look like they're about to open. There's a couple more. More walls.
So these little greenhouses are the ones that the food bank donates to the public, so they can start growing their herbs in their community gardens.
So if there's a community group that wants a greenhouse, these are available?
I think we still have those. Like I'm going to say for sure 2 or 1 more.
And
so this is the last one of that bunch.
And different community groups have taken these greenhouses and then they have grown their own stuff inside, and then they can donate some of it back to the food bank as well.
Yeah, that's like the organic way to do it. But you know what? If you have you put one of these greenhouses and you grow your food and you consume it, you know what? That's perfect.
That's good too.
That's good too. Like you don't need to worry about like, you know what? I have to bring some of my harvest to the food bank and then you go hungry. No, come on, you can eat it yourself.
And last year too, I remember we had so many tomato plants that we took some of those tomato plants out to the front of the food bank. So anybody who was any of the clients who were coming in to get some food for their family, they were able to take their own plants and they were able to grow their own tomatoes at home.
Oh, and that's something that probably we're going to do today, like grab some of our plants and put it in the front just for the clients, for their gardens, absolutely. It's something that we do about this time, like, and later in the season, when all other greenhouses that produce seedlings and plants are shutting down, they also donate some of their production to the food bank for direct consumption and also for plants when they have the seedlings to donate around. So a lot of people get starting their gardens linked to the food bank.
It's a whole community.
It's a whole nice one. And I think we should finish with that garden over there. Like, that was such a nice project there.
Yeah, these all were put up just within the last 2 weeks.
Yes, we did.
And they're so cool. These raised beds. And also, I believe that the public can still purchase these raised beds.
We did a little fundraiser for that. Yes.
Each of these squares is $20. And Luis, you put all of these together.
Oh, my back still sort of.
And they're filled up to about here with wood chips.
Yep.
Just straight wood chips. And then we've got peppers in here.
These are the callalus, the Caribbean spinach.
Beautiful. And then there's basil in here as well. So what we did was they were filled up to about 3/4 or 2/3 full with wood chips. And then we placed the plants in and then filled it all in with compost so that it's got great drainage.
Oh, it's amazing drainage.
In the last week, we've had so much rain and they've all just kind of popped right up. And there's all different kinds of plants that are growing in here.
Oh, it looks super nice. So when you put these kind of gardens, what I did with these first two, to make it a little bit like a perennial garden. So right now you leave this guy here, it snows on top. You can cover it with maybe a burlap sack. But next season, at the beginning of the season, these guys come back. Awesome. So there is a space in the middle to put something that it comes and go. So for this season, the come and go is going to be tomatoes. So these guys are not going to survive the winter. Next season, we have to put something else. So a nice rotation from tomatoes, I don't know, probably it's going to be some Swiss chard or some leafy green there.
And this little string is up here.
Oh, yes.
The tomatoes once they get bigger.
Absolutely. We're going to reach that stage pretty soon.
Yep, the ones at the end already, I think, are getting close. So lots of herbs. There's an eggplant. And potatoes in the middle.
Okay, and I see we're just arriving to our time. Let me put my camera now. So this was the tour of the London Food Bank and what are we growing here. Have a good one. Mindy, you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye. Thank you.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.